So where did we leave off? We left off when they threw Yusuf in the well. After they threw Yusuf in the well, what did they do? They came back to their father at night. Why did they come back at night? Why did they come back at night? They were crying. They were pretending to cry. It wasn't real cry. If you spot someone crying and they're faking it, you can see where the tears. But why did they come at night so the dad can't see clearly? They came at night time, Isha time. And then they said, Dad, we were playing with Yusuf. But what happened? We were doing our thing, and then a wolf came and ate him. Wolf came and ate him. The father realized this is a plot and a plan that they made against. And he said, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. He said, beautiful patience is what I will have. Beautiful patience is that the moment you're given the bad news, you don't start effing and blinding and cursing, you take it. فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. What can he do? They've done something to my son, they've gotten rid of him. وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ. And Allah is the one who you seek help from what you're doing. And I say, I'm telling you, Allah, what you have done, this is something that you have plotted and planned. And I will have beautiful patience and I'll turn to Allah because he had confidence that Allah Azza wa Jal will bring his son back. What happened? The dream is what's giving him confidence. And that fact, he has good assumptions from Allah Azza wa Jal. He knows that my son had a dream and the sun and the moon and the stars were making sajda to him. It means something good is going to come from this. And then what happened? When they threw Yusuf in the well, a caravan came. This caravan was traveling and he put the bucket down to get the water, and as it poured up the water, what happened? Bushra hada ghulam. Glad tidings. This is a boy. This is a boy. We could take him, we could sell him. So they sold him for what? Darahima ma'duda. Small change. Small change. They didn't sell him for a lot. If you see a little boy, a slave, and you don't think that he's got much value. If I didn't know the value of a diamond, what would I do? I think it's a rock, right? If I didn't know the value of a diamond, I'd sell it. If a person gives me £2, I say, bro, I don't have £2. Now I've got £2, you got a rock, you want to pay me £2 for a rock, that's up to you, bro. So they didn't see Yusuf to be something big. And Allah said, وَكَانُوا فِيهِ مِنَ الزَّاهِدِينَ. They thought that he was just something worthless. You know, someone zahid who turns away from the dunya, doesn't want big money. They were zahid when they came to Yusuf. They said, we don't need him. And they just sold him. But Allah has something big planned for Yusuf. People might look at you today and think that you're insignificant, you're nothing, but Allah has plans for you perhaps. And what happens? The man bought him. He was the Aziz of Egypt. He comes home, he brings this little slave boy to his wife. He says, give him a comfortable stay. Give him a good, make him feel comfortable in the house. Maybe we can benefit from him, or he could become like a son for us, because they couldn't have children, as some of the people of knowledge have mentioned. So he said, take care of him. He's a young boy. He could benefit us. He could work for us. He could do some serving for us, some khidmah. Or he could be like a son. We could take him as a son. Does that make sense? But what happened? Yusuf grew. He became old. And he became a shab, a young man. And the narrations mentioned that Allah put half of beauty in his face. He was given half of beauty. Take beauty, cut it in half, give half of it to Yusuf. That's how beautiful Yusuf alayhi salam was. It's a good thing that he was in the house, taken as a slave. Of course, slavery is not good, but the point is, in this situation, if the women were seeing him on the streets, they'd be what? They'd be after him. They'd be after him. Does that make sense? But what happened? What happened? Allah said, وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. The woman that was inside the house where Yusuf was staying, the wife of the man who bought him, she wanted Yusuf for himself. وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ. She closed the door shut. وَقَالَتْ حَيْتَ لَكَ. She said, come, let's do it. Me and you, no one's here. The doors are shut, locked. Me and you, we're gonna do zina now. قَالَ مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ. He said, I seek refuge in Allah from this. I seek refuge in Allah from this. And then what did he do? He ran for the door. The doors are locked. قَدَّرَ اللَّهُ مَا شَاءَ فَعَلَ. Allah allowed the door to open. Allah helps his slaves when they're in trouble. And her husband standing there. But before he went to the door, what did she do? She grabbed him. And the back of his thobe, it ripped. She's trying to keep him. She's on it. She's aggressive. She's one of the ones who wanted him. So he's trying to run. She grabs him, trying to rip his clothes off him. But he gets to the door opens, and her husband's standing there. Straight away she realizes, oh my days. My husband's here. So what does she do? She says, what is the reward for the one who tried to do this to your wife? She said, what is the reward for the one who tried to do haram to your wife? As in, he tried to do zina with me. She's trying to flip it on him. Because he caught her red-handed. He said, what should you do to this person? Imam al-Baghawi mentioned that she got scared. The moment she said that, she realized that her husband might kill Yusuf. So she said, إِلَّا أَن يُسْجَنَ, except that you should prison him. Or give him adabun alim, a tormenting punishment. Meaning whip him, lash him. She didn't want him to die. She loved him. She wanted Yusuf. She's crazy. Some women are crazy like that, huh? They're crazy like that. She wanted him. So what happened? So there was a person, there was a person who was a witness from within the household. They said, look, his shirt is ripped. Check, if the shirt is ripped from the front, it means that he was trying to pull himself onto her. And as he's coming onto her, she tried to pull him away, and she might have accidentally ripped his clothes. Because he's coming onto her. So the rip will be from the front. But she said, if the tear is from the back, I mean, why would the tear be on the back? Except that he's running away from her and she's trying to pull him forward. Do you understand? When they looked, they saw that the tear was from the back. He realized that the woman, إِنَّهُ مِنْ كَيْدِكُنْ إِنَّ كَيْدَكُنَّ عَظِيمٌ. He said, verily, this is the plotting of the woman. The plotting of the woman is mighty. When a woman plots and plans to trap a man, she'll come and say, what? He tells her, it's over, babes. I want to start practicing now. Trousers above the ankle, big, fist length. She says, I'm pregnant. Wallahi, she's not. And it's so funny how many brothers fall trapped in this. You can buy a pregnancy test on Amazon. Wallahi, brothers are stupid. And then she tells him, 3 months later, I had a miscarriage. And then he's so emotional, taking care of her. But she was lying. So many women have done this. I've got case after case, my brother. But they plot, huh? Anyway, we'll come back to their plotting in a second, inshallah ta'ala. The point here is what? Is that he said, Inna kayda kunna azim. Then he looked at Yusuf and said, Yusuf, a'rid an hada. He said, Yusuf, don't tell anyone about this. Don't talk to people. This is embarrassing. My wife's trying to come at you, slave. Then he looked at his wife. He said, وَاسْتَغْفِرِي لِذَنْبِكَ. He said, seek forgiveness for your sin. إِنَّكِ كُنْتِ مِنَ الْخَاطِئِينَ. You are a person, you made a mistake, you've sinned, you're wrong here. But what happened? News spreads. Yusuf didn't spread it, right? News spreads. So the women inside of the city, they heard, امرأة العزيز تراود فتاها عن نفسي. That the wife of the Aziz, she wanted the slave for herself. قد شغفها حبا. She became infatuated with love for a slave, and only he rejected her. We see her to be in clear-cut misguidance. So when a woman heard this, when she heard that they're spreading rumors about her, she said, I'm going to teach these women a lesson. They think Yusuf some ordinary guy. They think I fell in love with a slave. Let me show them. فلما سمعت بمكرهن وأرسلت إليهن وأعتدت لهن متكئا وآتت كل واحدة منهن سكينا وقالت اخرج عليهن. When she heard, she prepared a big feast for them, a big banquet. She told them, come. She gave each of them a knife, so what they can cut their food with. And when they were busy with the food and the banquet and they were cutting, قالت اخرج عليهن. She told Yusuf, get out here, come walk past the women. فلما رأينه, when they saw him, أكبرنه, they were like, what? What? This is mad. Who's this? This guy. Amazed. وَقَطَّعْنَ أَيْدِيَهُنْ. They cut their fingers. They sliced through. They didn't even realize that they're bleeding. They're bleeding. Cut you through your own face. They didn't even realize. Imagine they're bleeding. You think you stop now? I cut myself. No. وَقُلْنَا حَاشَ لِلَّهِ. They carried on. They looked at him. They said, Allah is perfect. perfection to Allah. ما هذا بشر. This is not a man. إلا ملك كريم. This is an angel. But they don't really cut themselves. The woman, she looks at them, the wife of Aziz, she says, this is the one that you're blaming me for. But you cut fingers. You're blaming me for him. And I wanted him for myself. Now if he refuses me, and he doesn't give me what I want from him, I'm going to throw him into prison. So what did Yusuf do? He said, Rabbi. He said, As-sijnu ahabbu ilayya mimma yad'unani ilay. He said, my Lord, the prison is more beloved to me than that which they're calling me to. إلا تصرف عني كيدهن أصب إليهن وأكون من الجاهلين. Is that من الجاهلين? وأكون من الجاهلين, if I'm not mistaken. He said, Allah, if you don't turn them away from me, I might be inclined towards them. I might fall into their trap, and then I'll become from the ignorant ones. So that's the story. It's a nice story, right? We'll pause at this part of the story, but let's take some benefits. Let's take some benefits. But before we take the benefits, can we have the adhan? And then we'll carry on after just for the few. So quickly try and finish these benefits because I want to catch up with a part of the story. So very important. This part here is important, so relevant to brothers and sisters living in the 21st century. Okay, especially in the UK with the fitna and all the madness and the fasad that's around us. So important. So now Yusuf alayhi salam, they threatened him with prison, and he asked Allah. He actually made dua for prison, and he got sent to prison because he didn't do zina with the women. He actually got sent to prison. They threw him in jail. He preferred jail time, not in the jails today where they give you food and in the jail you can sneak in a phone and chat to the people and be on Instagram in jail. No, this those jails, them times, dark, cringy, no lights, rats, mice. These are hard jails, and he preferred that over sleeping with a woman. Preferred years and years in jail over sleeping with a woman. Does that make sense? So the point is, he had to be patient. Now, the story of Yusuf has sabr in it. Abdurrahman Nasir Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala in his tafsir and his fawaid mustanbata min qissati Yusuf, the benefits that he took from the story, which is another book that he has, he mentioned something powerful, wallahi, a fa'idah that is very, very beneficial. He said sabr is of two types, sabrul ikhtiyari and sabrul dirari. Sabrul dirari is patience that is necessary, as in you got thrown into a situation, you got sick, you got ill, someone hurt you, someone took a loved one away, you have to be patient, you've got no choice. You have to be patient. Like Yusuf when he got thrown in the well, like Yusuf when he got thrown in jail. What could I have in jail? I'm patient now. But then it says sabrul ikhtiyari is when you choose to be patient. You throw yourself in a situation and you don't throw yourself, but you're in a situation. You actively make the choice, I'm going to have sabr right now. And he said that's when a woman comes to you and says, let's do it. Let's do zina. You've not been forced. Well, you have to be patient like you're in jail, like you've been sick. No, you chose. You make that decision, no, I'm going to have sabr right now. And he said that is harder. Because you're actually fighting your nafs. The other one, you didn't have to fight your nafs. You got placed in a situation and now you have to be patient. Here you have to fight your nafs, overcome your nafs. Pick Allah before you pick the sin and say, I will have sabr right now. And wallahi, brothers, sisters, the situation of Yusuf when this woman offered herself to him is not normal. Because Yusuf alayhi salam had every reason to fall into the sin that wallahi, if any one of me and you were to be in this situation, it is not something that would be possible to get out of except if Allah saved us. It wasn't just a woman that came to him. Look at the factors that were against Yusuf. There were 17. Some of the ulama have got even more. But I managed to compile from my research 17 things that came to Yusuf alayhi salam in this situation that were making it even harder for him to say no. 17 dawa'i, 17 things that were calling him to the zina, calling him to sleep with this woman, that were making it harder for him to say no. What were they? Number one, he was given half of beauty. So what happens when you're given half of beauty? You're attractive. You're attractive, it's coming your way, you're not even calling it. Number one, some of us are ugly. Obviously beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not going to call anyone butters, I learned my lesson. I would say, but some people are just not good looking, right? Remember, everyone's good looking in their own way though. They might not be good looking to someone, but they're good looking to someone else. So please, no one start having self-esteem issues. We are all beautiful in our own way. Wallah, I'm being serious. Sometimes you see a brother, and the sister and the brother, might have seen that sister for marriage and she's beautiful, but then she rejected him, but she chose another brother. Like, what the hell? Why you choose this brother like this? Have you ever looked at him? The brother looked like Shrek. But what happened? She likes Shrek. She's in Shrek. So beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So some brothers, I'm saying, are not even good looking, right? And they fall into the zina. Like, he's good looking, it's coming his way, number one. Number two, the woman in front of him was beautiful. You think that Aziz would marry a woman that's not good? He would marry from the creme de la creme. He would marry a woman who's beautiful. Does that make sense? Number two, she didn't just have beauty, but she had status. This is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ where he said there will be 7 that will be shaded on the day where there is no shade. When the sun is above their heads, they'll be drowning in their sweat. 7 will be given shade. One of them is who? A man who, when he was approached by a woman who had status and beauty, he said, Inni akhafullah. He said, I fear Allah, and he didn't do it. Remember, no matter how beautiful a ni'i might be, would you sleep with a ni'i? Would you sleep with a ni'i? Look, her status is low. Right? She's low. But what if she's a princess but she's not attractive at all? Would you sleep with her? No. Would you be a princess? Okay, but you look like Shrek, sister. You look like Fiona from Shrek. Like, so not in a bad way, but me, I'm not feeling that. Other brothers might like me, I'm not Shrek. But imagine you got a princess and she's beautiful. That's hard to turn away. So the Prophet ﷺ said that, what? That's a man who gets shade in the day of judgment. He looked at her and he said, she called him to the haram. He said, Inni akhafullah, I fear Allah Azza wa Jal. I am scared of Allah. So then what happened? Number one, she was beautiful. Number two, she had status. Not just was she beautiful, but she beautified herself with more makeup. What did she do? She even had what? Perfume. How many things? What? 5 things so far. Number 6, what? He was her slave. وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا. The one who was a slave in her house. She wanted him. So slave has to do the commands of the master, right? In fact, she's commanded him to do something. Who's gonna tell him off? Her master is saying, do the sin. What reason does he have to deny? So what? Number 6, right? Number 7, they were living in the same house. But the fitna that came to him was from a woman that he's in the same house. He sees her every single day. He serves her. He's with her every day. Number 8, وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ. She locked the door. Number 9, she didn't وَغَلَّقَتِ الْبَابِ. No, she didn't lock the door. وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ. She locked the doors. There were many doors. There were many doors. She locked all of them. She locked outside, inside. It's like within the house. She locked the door outside, the door to the first stage, second stage, third. Like she trapped him in this room. وَغَلَّقَ. Not غَلَقَ. غَلَقَ is to lock. وَغَلَّقَ. She rammed it shut. She chained, padlocked. This door was shut. No one's coming in. And what happened? Not just that. The 10th thing is, she liked him. وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. She wanted him for herself. She actually liked him. Not just that, sometimes a woman likes you, she just gives you signals, right? But then there's a woman that actually makes the move. She made the move. قَالَتْ هَيْتَ لَكْ. She said, come, let's do it. Me and you right now. Here. We can do it right here. No one's going to see, I want you. I desire you. She actually is telling him. Not just she's telling him, but she tried to force herself on him. Why? Because Yusuf ran. What happened? وَقَدَّ قَمِيصَهُ مِن دُبُرٍ. She ripped his shirt from the back. She was an aggressive woman. She wanted him. She's physically forcing herself onto him. Brothers, there's no woman that's trying to, force us, like all of this onto you. You're not in this situation. What? The 13th reason. What happened? It was not just one woman. There were many women. Because later on, what happened? When the other women, they saw him, and then they cut their fingers, and then the woman, she said, this is why you blamed me because of this man. But now I want him to do zina with me. If he doesn't, I'm going to throw him in prison. Yusuf made a dua. He said, وَإِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ أَصْبُ إِلَيْهِنَّ وَأَكُمْ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ. He said, إِلَّا تَصْرِفْ عَنِّي كَيْدَهُنَّ. He said, Allah, if you don't save me from their plotting. He didn't say from her plotting. What does their show? It's not one woman. Many wanted it with him. Alaykum salam. He's not got one woman. He's got many women coming at him. Many women. And they all tell him, listen, bruv, all of us. Otherwise you're going to go to jail. The 14th reason, they threatened him with prison. Come on. It's getting worse now. They're saying, dude, no one's going to see, just do it. No one's going to know. If not, we're going to go to prison. Number 15, he was a stranger in the land. That wasn't his area. He wasn't from Egypt. He wasn't from there. When people want to sin, what do they do? When they want to do it really, what they call it, that's why they call it a dirty weekend. They go to what? Ayanapa. They go to where? Ibiza. Where do they go? They go Amsterdam. People don't sin in their city the way they sin outside the city because their neighbor might see, their relatives might see, their family members might see, the uncle might see, right? Someone might be there. So he's gonna say, no one knows you. No one's gonna know that he done this. Does that make sense? And not only that, number 16, he was single and unmarried. Come on, man. He's never had a woman before. He has desires. What did Allah Azza wa Jalla say? وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَن رَأَىٰ بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. Allah said that she wanted him, but he would have also been inclined towards her if it wasn't for the fact that Allah saved him. Meaning he's a man, he's got desires at the end of the day. Allah saved him because he could afford it. Like he is a man, he wants women, right? A man wants a wife, he wants to be able to experience that. So he's unmarried. Some men are married, or they've done it before. وَلِيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ. The one who's done it before many times is less likely than the one who's never done it before. He never tasted the honey. Does that make sense? And the 17th one is that he was young. He was in the peak of his youth. He was in the peak of his youth. That's when his desires are the highest. When you're strong, when you're raging, hormonal. Brothers, wallahi, these 17 things, not one of you has ever been in this situation. And there's not one person in the UK that you can find that'll probably have this situation to them. So then how dare a person come and say there's too much fitna? Wallahi, our times are not like those times that they talk about in the Quran. You know, it was easy. No. It was not like that. The woman, like, look at these 17 things, 17 factors. Wallahi, no one can be saved from this except for a person who saves. Allah saves. No man has the ability to protect himself from this except for a man who Allah himself saves, and Allah saved him. Question is, why is it that many of you are not being saved? Why is it many of us are falling into these crimes? We're going to learn inshallah after the salah. How is it that Allah saved Yusuf? What was it that, because Yusuf, these are the things that were taking place to cause him to fall into the sin. But Yusuf was doing things to protect himself from the sin. We're going to learn that after the salah in just 10 minutes, and then we're going to let Shaykh Abdul Ahad inshallah carry on with his lesson. Brothers, now please, these last few moments before the salah, make dua. The dua between the adhan and the iqamah is accepted. So now that we've understood how difficult it was for Yusuf alayhi salam to say no, to reject that woman, to turn away from her, how is it that Allah Azza wa Jalla managed to save him? Because this is something that no one can resist. Men cannot resist this, except if Allah saves them from this. This is something that only Allah can do. And Allah said it in the ayah. Allah actually said it. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَن رَأَىٰ بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. Allah said she wanted him and he would have wanted her as well, if it wasn't for the fact that Allah intervened. Allah saved him. Only Allah could have saved him. So again, in this day and age, fitna everywhere. And you see a brother and he's a virgin, or a sister, she's a virgin. Wallahi, this is rare. 67% of Muslim youth are engaged in sexual activity at the time they reach school, by the time they finish school. 67%. Men and women, Muslim boys and girls. Real official statistics. And by the time you hit uni, there's even more. And by the time you finish, it's more. This is outside of marriage, not in marriage, outside of marriage. So how do you become from those 2-3% that reach the age of 24, 25, 26, Allah has still saved you, you've not touched a woman? Or maybe you have in the past where you want to repent to Allah from doing the second sin after murder. Shirk, murder, and zina is the third one. And you want Allah to protect you. Now that you've left it behind, how is it that you want Allah Azza wa Jalla? What do you do so that Allah Azza wa Jalla can protect you now? What do you have to now come with so that Allah Azza wa Jalla can save you from this? And there are 6 things that we can take from what Yusuf alayhi salam done. And that he was doing not just at the time but even prior. And these are the reasons why Allah Azza wa Jalla saved him. Number 1, he came with Tawheed. He came with worshipping Allah alone and no one else except him. What's the evidence for this? Because after Allah mentioned he saved him, Allah said, كَذَلِكَ كَذَلِكَ لِنَصْرِفْ عَنْهُ السُّوءَ وَالْفَحْشَاءَ إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُخْلَصِينَ. In another qira'ah, مُخْلِصِينَ. Allah said, we diverted the evil from him because he was from our servants that was sincere. Sincere means when you pray salah, pray with sincerity, pray with ikhlas. When you give charity, give it with sincerity, not so other people can see. Not that other people say, oh, look at him, look how generous he is. That's not sincerity. That's shirk. That's minor shirk, because you're doing an act of worship for him and Allah. But worship only for Allah. So when he used to come and worship Allah, he would worship only Allah. He never did no shirk. He was always for Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's why Allah said, كَذَلِكَ لِنَصْرِفْ عَنْهُ السُّوءَ وَالْفَحْشَاءَ إِنَّهُ مِنْ عِبَادِنَا الْمُخْلَصِينَ. قراءة أخرى مخلصين المخلصين. He was from our slaves that were sincere. So what we learn from this, brothers, is that sincerity is what saves you. In other words, tawheed, ibadah, la ilaha illallah is what saves you. That's why the ulama, they say, man akhlasa lillah, anyone who cleans himself and purifies himself for Allah in his worship is pure, clean, untainted for Allah, خلص الله من الشرور. Allah will purify him, clean him, save him from evil. That's how it works. You worship Allah alone, Allah will save you from other things. And Shaitan himself, what did he say? What did he say? He said to Allah, he said, I'm going to misguide them. I'm going to come to them from the right, I'm going to come to them from the left, I'm going to come to them from the front, I'm going to come to them from the back, I'm going to misguide them, Ya Allah. إلا عبادك المخلصين, except for your إلا عبادك المخلصين, except for your slaves who are sincere, except for your servants who are sincere. They came with sincerity. They're the only ones that I will not be able to touch, Ya Allah. So Shaitan himself is admitting, Allah can't touch these people. So brothers, sincerity is the first thing. And how does sincerity come? How does tawheed come? Through studying it. Things like Al-Qawaid Al-Arba'a, Nawaqid Al-Islam, Kashf Shubuhat, Kitab Al-Tawheed. These are books that you study, through them you learn La ilaha illallah. And then we told you, if you're struggling in your deen, you're struggling in terms, you're falling, you're slipping, brothers, it's because your La ilaha illallah is weak. If you're struggling in terms of sins, it's because your La ilaha illallah is weak. And because of it, you're not being saved or protected. But if you came and you strengthened your tawheed, you strengthened your understanding of La ilaha illallah, then as a result of it, inshallah, what will happen? As a result of it, Allah will save you from evil. And that's why Allah saves him from this woman. Number one. Number two, muraqabatullah, to know that Allah is watching you. She tried to make Yusuf, what? Think that he's alone. وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ, she shut the door closed. Everything's locked. But Yusuf knew that Allah is watching me. To know that Allah is watching you, brothers, is the second thing. And my sisters, the second thing. Imam Muhammad Amin Shanqiti rahimahullah, he said that there is ijma', there is unanimous consensus amongst the scholars that there is no reminder that is greater for the heart than to say, Allah is watching you. Suddenly the body should just freeze. Allah is watching you. What state is He watching me in right now? What am I doing at the time right now that Allah is watching me? How am I that Allah sees me right now? Have I got a cigarette in my hand? Am I with people who are smoking? Am I with people who are talking about haram, who are going to do haram? Am I at a place where there's music? Where am I at this particular point in time? Because that weighs heavy on the scales of a person who's constantly thinking, Allah Azza wa Jal, He watches me. Number three, brothers, do dua. Do dua to be protected. Make dua to Allah Azza wa Jal to protect you. Yusuf, what did he do? He said, Rabbi, السجن أحب إلي مما يدعونني إليه وإلا تصرف عني كيدهن. Allah is the prison. He's making dua saying, Allah, Rabb. He's making dua to Allah saying, throw me to prison. The prison is more beloved to me than that which they are calling me to. And if you do not save me from their plotting, أصب إليهن وأكون من الجاهلين. I'll fall into what they're asking me, Ya Allah. I'll end up doing the haram. And I'll become from the ignorant ones. So he made dua to Allah. Brothers, we're falling into sins. How often do we say, Allah, stop me from this sin? Allah, aid me in stopping this sin. How much do we call upon Allah? We know we have these sins. A person suffering from pornography, all day, every day, he's asking people, how do I get over it? How do I get over it? I'm struggling with this sin, how do I get over it? But he never asked Allah. What did Allah say in the Quran? وَمَنْ يَعْتَصِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. Whoever holds on to Allah, Allah will guide him to the straight path. Because he held on to Allah, he made dua. Even when the woman came to, what did he say? مَعَذَ اللَّهِ. I seek refuge in Allah from this. I'm asking Allah to protect me from this, what you're calling me to. So he made dua. Number 4, he feared Allah. He feared Allah Azza wa Jal. And remember the hadith that I mentioned to you earlier, that the people who will be given a shade on the day of judgment, on a day where there is no shade, 7 groups from them will be a young man, a woman of beauty and status approached him. He said, Inni akhafullah. He said, I'm scared of Allah. Brothers, you know this hadith gives you a benefit. Allah, the Prophet didn't say he believed in his heart that he was scared of Allah. Because is fear an action of the heart or is it action of the limbs? Where is fear? Is fear on the limbs or is it in the heart? It's in the heart. Fear and hope and love, and these are all actions of the heart. But the Prophet said, he said, I fear Allah. You take a benefit from this. Say it. Say it. When you see yourself, you're about to do a sin. You're about to do a sin, whatever that sin might be. It could be a woman. It could be an intoxicant. It could be music you're about to listen. Whatever the sin is, and you're struggling, say, Inni akhaf Allah. Say, I'm scared of Allah. Say it. Say it. Keep saying it until the fear starts to have an effect in your heart. Vocalize it. Because there's a connection between what you say and your heart. Even they tell you, in personal development books where you read, they tell you, a person to be successful, they say to yourself, I'm successful. They say, wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I'm going to succeed today. I'm going to be successful today. Say it, because they said these things that you say have an actual effect in terms of making your body run with it. And it's true, it does. Say, Inni akhafullah. If a woman calls you, if you get a text, say, I fear Allah. Say it out loud, I fear Allah. A woman comes to talk to you, you're at the shop, you're at work, she's a work colleague. Say it, so people, I am scared of Allah. Say it. Let them think you're weird, doesn't matter. Say it. And then the fear will actually start to move inside of your heart, inshallah ta'ala. Number 5, reject it. Some of us don't even reject the evil. A woman will message you, she'll text you, you respond. Lakin Yusuf alayhi salam ankara alayha. He rejected her, he refused her. He said, Ma'ad Allah, inna Rabbi ahsana mathwaya. He said, I seek refuge in Allah from this. He refused it. We don't refuse the evil. See the evil pop up? Maybe entertain it for a bit. Send 1 or 2 messages back. No, you block it from the beginning. And number 6, brothers, this one's very important. What did Yusuf do? After all of those things, after he made dua, after he came with tawheed, after he refused it, after he feared Allah, after he was knowing that Allah was watching, what did he do?
He became a
So that was later, but I'm saying in this situation, what did he do? فَاسْتَبَقَ الْبَابِ. He ran away from the fitna. He actually physically ran to the door. He ran. Brothers, this is a نقطة مهم جدا والله. It's a point that's very important to stand over. Run away from the fitna. Some of us, we go to the fitna. Wherever the fitna is, run from it. Okay, I'm on Instagram and I see it's fitna. Run from it. I'm at work, at my workplace, there's fitna. Run from it. I'm doing it. Run from the fitna. Whatever the fitna might be. It doesn't just have to be women. I'm with some friends. Okay, there's fitna. Run from the fitna. I live in a city, a place. Run from that city. Brothers, run from the fitna. Yusuf alayhi salam, he ran from the fitna in 2 ways. And wallahi, this personally, it amazes me and it shocks me. When he was with the woman in the room, he actually physically ran away. And then Allah opened the door and there was the Aziz there, her husband. The second time when all of the women tried to trap him, he said, رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. He He said, Allah, throw me to prison. Allah, take me into jail. Send me to jail to save me from them. That's how far he wanted to be away from the fitna. He said, they're saying they're going to throw me jail? Allah, throw me jail. I want jail. I do not want this. He preferred jail over displeasing Allah, over letting Allah Azza wa Jalla down. And some of us, Allah al-Musta'anu ala ma tasifun. The last 2 points. Brothers, from this we learn, and sisters pay attention as well, is that one must be wary and caution when it comes to the plotting of women. By the way, everything I just said applies to women as well. It's just hard for me to keep saying brothers and sisters because I can't see, there's no sisters here. But these points that I just mentioned, it's fitness for women as well. They have to do the same thing. I mean, the fact that women have fitna and they have, urge, this is proof because a woman wanted Yusuf alayhi salam, right? So the same way man has desires, women have desires, so women do the exact same things. But the other point that I wanted to mention, brothers and sisters pay attention, is that the plotting of the women is very strong. When Allah talked about the plotting of shaitan, Allah said, Inna kayda shaitani kana da'ifa. Allah said the plotting of shaitan is weak. But in Surah to Yusuf, Allah said, Inna kayda kunna azim. But the plotting of the women is mighty. Azim is what? Is one of his names. Is someone strong going to testify to the strength of someone else unless he really is strong? If a person is weak and he says, yeah, this guy's strong, and I say, but what do you know about strength? You're weak, look at you. But this guy is in the gym, he's breaking backs. Not literally. But he's in the gym putting in work, and he comes and he says, no, I trust my man's got strength. And you think, wow, real recognize real, right? Allah is Al-Azim. Allah is the mighty one. And he said that the plotting of the woman is mighty. Allah is not going to testify to something being strong unless it really is. So the strength of the woman's plot is mighty. So much so that Allah said shaitan is weak. His plotting is weak, but the woman is mighty. Because if a woman plots against a man, Allah, it's very hard for him to protect himself. So brothers, know that these little messages that, Allah, some of you get a little DM. And I know it happened to some of the brothers who came on the last Umrah trip with us. That because they were up. Wallah, look how, I'll be honest, this is devilish, Wallah. The brother come to Umrah. The 5-star Umrah post, or I post a picture of us from Umrah. This woman wants haram now. She goes into the DM after him. How? We didn't tag him. No one tagged him. They do their research. They got their database. They send their scouts up. Wallah, I'll be honest, wallahi, women, they do this. Right now, I bet you the women right downstairs are laughing right now because they know what I'm saying is right. They do their research, they find, they scout, search for this guy. They come to an event, they see the guy walking out the park. Who's that guy? That jacket. Wallahi, the way they start eliminating circumstances. Okay, he's here, he was with him on this day, he was wearing this on this day, boom, that's the guy. And they find him online. Then they message him, hey bro, the guy just came out, he's just trying to get on deen and you're after him? What are you doing? You wanted him to do haram, he just came back, inshallah had his sins forgiven and you're messaging him? Ittaqillah. The point here, my brothers and my sisters, is know that women, when they plot, their plot is mighty. Their plot is mighty. So don't think that little message that came into your DM is a sweet innocent little girl, she just wants advice. Hey brother, I'm just trying to, wear hijab and I just want to get on my deen. I see you getting on your deen. Maybe you can help. No, don't. Wallahi, she has a motive. Wallahi, she has a motive. Her motive, she's thinking, can I start this conversation with you? And if it was marriage, if her motive was marriage, she would have said, brother, I'm interested. Here's my dad's number. Or you know what? But they don't come with that because they know they're not ready for marriage. They just want a boyfriend. Wallahi, they do. Just because she's got hijab and you got beard and you talk to each other doesn't mean that it's halal. This new fitna comes, she's my fiance, we're engaged. What do you mean engaged? It's your girlfriend, bro. What do you mean engaged? That's your girlfriend. So be very cautious. Be very cautious. And sisters, as Uncle Ben said, and I don't watch movies, it's just that I used to read comics when I was young. With great power comes great responsibility. Sisters, use that power Allah gave you for good. It's not bad that Allah gave you that strength. Use it to make your husband grow his beard. Use it to make the men, pray qiyamul layl. Use that sweetness that you have. Sprinkle that water. Hey babe, let's pray qiyamul layl. He tells you, no, I'm sleepy, tired. Come on, babe. You're going to say no? Like, you know what I'm saying? Tell her, use that sweetness for khair, not for evil. That plotting is good if you use it for good, but it's evil if you use it for bad, right? So not women bashing here. People think, no feminism out here. It's real. Allah said in the Quran, it's mighty. Use it for good, don't use it for bad. And then the last and final point, bi'idhnillah, and then we'll stop, is that Yusuf alayhi salam, he combined between internal beauty and external beauty. Some of us, we just look good on the outside. Yusuf had half the world's beauty in his face. Despite that, his inside was beautiful, if not more beautiful. He was not lacking in beauty inside. When they saw him, they cut their fingers how beautiful he was, right? So he's an angel. But he came with internal beauty, which was what? Ikhlas, a sincere heart. His heart was clean. Remember, brothers, Allah does not look at your outer appearances, but He looks at your heart. How's your heart? Sisters, how's your heart? All day, every day. Even when we start practicing, what do? The thawb is ironed. It's even got that nice little crease there. The shemagh is starched. The atar is there. People spend so much, the beard is combed, shaped up right here. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure he looks good. What about your heart? What about the heart? That's what counts. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك اشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك.
Yo,
what's going on, bro?
yeah, I got the thing.
What? How much is in there?
20 mil.
You being serious?
Yeah, hold that. It's yours now.
You guys are probably wondering how this dusty looking camera is worth 20 mil. Let me break it down for you. About 6 years ago, some brothers and sisters gave us about £600 in order for us to purchase this camera to make da'wah videos. 6 years later, alhamdulillah, we made well over 1,000 videos and we reached over 20 million plus views on YouTube alone without taking into account all the other social media platforms that we're on. So those people at the time when they gave that money, I don't think they had any idea that £600 that they gave was gonna go towards a camera that would reach 20 million people who watch videos and they changed their lives after having watched them, who watched these videos and started praying, who watched these videos and accepted Islam. Can you imagine if they were sincere, the kind of reward that they're gonna get on the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala? But now here's the issue. This camera is 6 years old. I mean, there's cracks in it, it's breaking, it's well past its sell by date. We're trying to take things up to the next level. In order to do that, we need a new camera. In fact, we need more than one. We need more equipment. We need to actually hire a bigger media team. But all of this stuff, it comes with expenses, it comes with costs. And over the next 6 years, inshallah ta'ala, we're looking to reach well over 20 million people. Now look, I'm gonna be direct with you. I'm about to ask you for some money to put towards the da'wah for the sake of Allah. But before I do that, I wanna tell you some figures, some statistics to show you the kind of reward that you might be looking at, inshallah, if you come with sincerity and the donation. Just take a look at the kind of numbers we have over the last 90 days. Over the last 90 days, we received over 1.4 million views on our YouTube channel alone. That's 466,000 views every 30 days. That's 15,555 views per day. That's right. You could be in your sleep, sleeping 6, 7, 8 hours a day, however much you sleep, and you just earn a reward, inshallah ta'ala. Why? Because you gave a bit of money that went towards a very big project. Now, with that 15,000 odd views a day, if you average that out across 6 years, which is the lifespan of this camera, do you know how much reward that is, inshallah? That's 34,065,450 views. I don't know about you, but that kind of reward, I need that in my life. This is not the kind of opportunity that we should be passing up, especially if you've got sins. The Prophet ﷺ said that giving charity wipes away sins the way that water, it extinguishes fire. So look, say no more, inshallah ta'ala. I don't feel like I should have to convince you towards giving to a project like this anymore. If you want that kind of reward, you want the da'wah to spread, you want la ilaha illallah to spread across the internet, inshallah ta'ala, then you want to give at the link below to this project. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Remember, 20 mil, yeah? And that's on YouTube alone.